Former Prime Minister John Howard has stood by the decision to send Australian troops to war in Iraq, and he's rejected calls for a similar inquiry to take place here. Australia was one of the key partners in the US-led coalition. The nation's contribution to the war cost an estimated $5 billion. More than 17,000 soldiers served in the Iraq conflict up to 2009. 2 defence personnel died, both of them in non-combat related incidents. Anne Barker reports.
When US forces invaded Iraq, Australian troops were right behind.
We are determined to join other countries to deprive Iraq of its weapons of mass destruction.
Opponents of the war accused the government of exaggerating the threat and say the Chilcot report is now vindication.
We know this now more clearly than ever, that the Howard government took us to war on a lie.
Andrew Wilkie resigned at the time from the Office of National Assessments in direct protest at the decision to send Australia to war. He now blames John Howard for the terror threat Australia faces today, including attacks like the Lindt Cafe siege.
Not only did it turbocharge Al-Qaeda back then, but it created the circumstances for the rise of Islamic State.
I mean, this is irrational.
John Howard still stands by the decision to join the US-led coalition and says it was based on the best intelligence at the time.
There was no lie. There were errors in intelligence, but there was no lie.
Critics of the war are demanding a similar broad-ranging inquiry in Australia and, at the very least, reforms to give Parliament rather than Cabinet power to decide when Australia goes to war.
The current system is just the danger of small group decision-making.
Australia has already had 2 inquiries, one of which found the evidence of any weapons of mass destruction in Iraq was thin, ambiguous and incomplete. Anne Barker, ABC News.